Hey lovelies, today I want to share with you some of my favorite Procreate brushes. Some of these brushes already come with the Procreate app and others I've had to purchase, so I will make sure to link those below so that you know where to find them. One of the main things that I'm looking for in a Procreate brush is texture. I really want the art to feel like it was made by an actual human, because it was. The other thing that I'm looking for is, can it support my drawing style? I have a very sinuous line quality and I really want to make sure that that brush can support that and make me feel like I can just be fluid and do my thing. Over the years, I've tried a bunch of different brushes and it can be overwhelming because there are just so many out there, but I boiled it down to about 5 to 10 that I just keep finding myself coming back to. Anyways, without further ado, let's just jump in and get started. All right, let's get started with some of the inking brushes. This all comes with Procreate, it's free. The one that I love to use for my sketching is this Mercury brush. So it's really nice and loose. It allows me to have that freedom just to really explore and sketch and play around and not feel too bound or constrained into what the sketch has to be. It's just, I love the looseness of it and it lets me just play with the lines. Next up is the Ink Bleed brush. I absolutely love this brush and I use it all the time. I use it as kind of my base shape for everything that I'll end up filling. And it works so great because it's tight, but it has a little bit of that loose grit on the very edge. So it really helps you get that kind of subtle texture. It's not too much texture that's in your face, but it's just enough to make it feel kind of hand done. My third favorite inking brush is this stipple brush. Let me show you what it looks like. It's just a lot of really nice organic looking dots, and I incorporate a lot of glitter and sparkle into my artwork, so this helps kind of just make that process faster. And what I've done with this brush is I've actually tweaked the settings a little bit, and I'll show you how you can do that. If you click in there, I've increased the spacing on my own brush and you can increase the jitter. So you see it all just feels a little bit more open and loose. But here, let me show you what my actual brush looks like. We'll clear this. See how nice and fluid and loose and organic that is? And it's got also a little bit of opacity change, which just creates a little bit of subtle depth. The next brush that I love to use that's free and included with Procreate is in the airbrushing section. It's the Soft Blend brush, and I like to use this as just a subtle highlight behind my characters. A lot of times I'll really reduce the opacity, but it's just a nice little way to bring your character forward. Moving on to brushes that I have had to purchase. One of my absolute favorite brush libraries is the On the Marks Folksy Floral brush template made by one of my friends, Chelsea. She's great, and I use pretty much every single one of these. The one that I would say that I use the most is the OTM Textured Filler / Liner. Let me show you what that looks like. It's just so nice for creating like bigger, soft, fluffier texture. I use this as my shading and my highlights for pretty much everything. Let me go ahead and show you what some of the other ones look like too. So if you're interested in purchasing this library, you have a good sense of what all of these look like. I mean, aren't they just wonderful? And some of them are more dense, some of them are more loose. But I mean, I feel like you can just use these textures on absolutely anything, whether it's hair, plants, a stucco wall, anything. Ooh, this one's actually been really helpful if I'm trying to draw some beading. We've got, I think, a couple more. This smoother liner is also very nice. I don't know if you can quite see. There's still a little bit of grit, but it's a lot smoother. Increase the brush size on this. Ugh, look how nice that is. I've been using this a lot lately. I've been drawing this series of window gals, and this has been really great to use on walls for just a good little bit of grit and kind of that stucco feel. I've also been using this one, which is a little bit more dispersed. So this is a great brush pack. On the Mark Folksy Floral brush template. I will link that below. Another great set that I recently purchased is this Studio Ghibli art set, and it's got a lot of nature. So truth be told, I do not love drawing landscapes or nature. I mean, I love me a good flower and everything, but I don't like to draw every single petal, every single leaf. So this art set has been incredibly helpful just to go ahead and get those shapes down, and it also looks pretty organic. It's pressure sensitive, so the more you put pressure on it, the bigger the leaves, the less pressure, the smaller the leaves, and there's a lot of really nice opacity shifts that are happening in there too. There's grasses. I use the leaves mostly. There's a couple of flowers, but I haven't used those as much. But this has been incredibly helpful for just getting down some of that landscape stuff really fast. Okay, sorry to blind you with the white screen, but this next brush is really subtle, so the only way you can probably see it is against the white. This is the Watercolor MaxPack, and there is this Max U Paper Hot Press Brush that I use on the top of all of my artwork to get that paper texture. If I duplicate it, you'll be able to see maybe some of those details a little bit more, but it is so tactile. I absolutely love this brush. Cannot recommend it enough. There's a ton more stuff within this Watercolor MaxPack, and I imagine they are really fun to use, but honestly, the only one I use, and I think totally worth buying the whole pack for, is this Max U Paper Hot Press brush. So to recap, here are those Procreate brushes that I just keep coming back to, and they've helped me create so many pieces of art. And actually, I will make a really nice little guide for you where I will label what each one of these brushes is and if it's included in Procreate or not. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I really hope that this video helped you feel inspired to try out some of these brushes and to make some beautiful things. Also, I would love to know what some of your go-to Procreate brushes are, so please comment below on what those are, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos that you would like to see from me, please also share that below. Thanks again for watching, and stay sparkly.